What God cannot do does not exist. We dey pray, He dey show. We dey pray, He dey show. Pastor Jerry, I am that woman that Elroi has shown great mercy and has chosen to honor. 2004, after 2 years of my marriage, I was about to undergo fibroid operation, and the doctor sent me for tests, and one of them was fasting blood sugar for diabetes. After the test, I was diagnosed of type 1 diabetes. Then, I was 29 years. I was placed on glycemic tablet, and that was how I started battling with diabetes. I loved God a lot when I was single. Even after my marriage, I started wondering why I should be a victim of diabetes despite God's promises for me in the Bible. Then, I was not serious with the medication and the diet, and I started having hyperglycemia. When I became serious with the medication and diet, it will lead to hypoglycemia. This was my experience from 2004 to 2014. Then, January 2014, I was rushed to hospital, and the doctor could not manage me and told my husband to take me to Federal Medical Center. We are based in Kogi State. That was how I was rushed from there to Federal Medical Center, Abia State, because that is my place. So I was diagnosed of hyperglycemia that leads to high blood pressure and diabetic coma. I battled for life for 6 months, and God saw me out of the hospital. I used to experience embarrassment everywhere I go because of excessive urination. While on admission in FMC, I was taught how to give myself injection on my labs, insulin injection, because the complications has led to type 2 diabetes, whereby only glycemic tablets can no longer handle the case, and hypertensive drugs was also included in my medication. That was how I started battling with diabetes and high blood and hypertension with the management drugs. I was told that the two diseases can only be managed and has no cure. I started believing God and was saying that my case is different, but the more I say it, the more I develop complications. The doctor started telling me that I should not stay away from hospital more than a week or more so that they will monitor me. I was diagnosed of CCF, congestive cardiac failure, and arrhythmias. With the additional complications, more drugs was added to enable me battle against the conditions. Every day, morning, afternoon, and night, I will be on drugs. Morning, I will take injection either on my last or in my stomach. Evening, I will take injection coupled with tablets. I was told by the physician that my life depends solely on the drugs, that if I don't take it as prescribed, that deadly complications can arise. Then I started living in fear, making sure that the availability of those drugs were the most important expenses to budget for every day. Weeks, months, and years. I suffered weakness and hypoglycemia, and even obesity and edema as side effects of those drugs. I looked older than my age all times. I have less to offer in my matrimonial home because of this. Then when I started with the NSPPD prayers in June 2024, then July 16th, 45 minutes into the prayer, I heard Pastor Jerry Eze saying that the power of God is being released on those with diabetes and high blood pressure.
For the healing power of God is coming right now on anyone with diabetes or hypertension. I announce, let it be reversed.
Hey! I shouted and jumped and ran to tell my people I could not hold my joy. Pastor Jerry Eze has mentioned my case, and since that day till date, I have not tested any of those drugs, and the complications has disappeared. I started believing God for evidence. My BP that used to be 180 to 200 all over 100 millimeter mercury came down to 130 over 80 millimeter mercury, and my sugar level read L0, meaning that no sugar at all or lower than normal. Before, my sugar level used to be up to 250 to 300 to even 340 milligram GL. What God cannot do does not exist.
Somebody celebrate the Roy. Celebrate the Roy. If you can do a miracle, don't do anything. But if you know it's the Lord, celebrate the Lord. Celebrate the Lord. Celebrate the Lord. Warriors are rising up. Celebrate the Lord. Celebrate the Lord. Somebody give the Lord a loud shout. You are the Lord. That is your name. You will never share your glory with any man. You will never share your glory with anybody. Almighty God, that is your. Somebody shout fire! People of God, look at that last testimony. That woman, oh my goodness. And this is from the time she was young. From the time she was young.